Defending pieces in chess, you have to do it. If you don't defend your pieces, you hang your pieces, you lose your pieces. Every game that I play and every game that I lose, I have a moment where I make a move and I don't really think about the implications of that move after I've made the move, and I haven't defended it. And so then I get, put in check, and then I lose a piece, or I get forked or something like that. And if you don't, defend your pieces, you are not going to be able to keep your pieces. It's kind of that simple. And so in this game, I am really going to focus on one thing, and that is I want to make sure every piece is defended. And so I'm going to go ahead and defend all of my pieces. Here I'm defending my my pawns. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my pawns, and I don't think that I want to. Well, I don't really want to trade this bishop because he's threatening to take the bishop. However, I can't move my knight here, which is something I would typically have done. And so it looks like that's probably what's going to happen. I am going to drop back, though, because at least now, if he wants to trade bishops, I'll take with this pawn, and then that way I could lift my rook if I want to. So in the meantime, all right, so that is what's going to happen. And, like I said, in the meantime, I just want to make sure all of my pieces are protected. So currently, every piece is protected, and I want to develop everything. So I'm going to bring my knight probably here, possibly here, and then I'm going to castle. So let's see what we get. This is trying to see what opening my opponent played. Gustavo J. Ferreira D. From, I don't even recognize this country's flag. It almost looks like France, but it's got a little thing in the middle of it. So I don't think it's France. Anyways, not that important. I am going to develop castle, and somebody said recently, hey, you may not want to castle right away, especially not with black, because you want to be able to keep your options open. And so if they let out this whole attack on the king side, but then you've castled, it's too late. So it's better sometimes to delay castling with black. With white, you want to castle right away, right? So now I'm just going to try to kick out his piece, and everything looks pretty well defended at this point. I do still need to develop my knight, or sorry, my queen, and I am guessing, I'm not sure what he's thinking about. He's maybe thinking about trading my rook for two of his minor pieces, which I would rather have two minor pieces than a rook, for sure. So, I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so one idea, now that everything is mostly developed except for my queen, I might just go ahead and lift up my queen just to connect my rooks. And one idea is getting my knight here, which would attack the bishop. And also, even if he drops his bishop, it might be worth taking, because I take, if he takes, I can attack his rook, although his queen is here, so probably would just take back with his queen. Either way, that's what I'm thinking about. This, what kind of pawn breaks do we have in this game? So right now, my pawn chain is pretty good. So this pawn's not doing anything. And so that's an idea. It currently is protecting my knight, but I'm about to move my knight. So, one idea is after I move here, and assuming if he moves his knight here, or his bishop here, I could take, trading. I could also then bring my bishop here, and then push this pawn, and then if takes, just to, open up the center for me a little bit. So that's an idea. my opponent is thinking. So if this, then probably this. Trying to think here. So Gustavo is taking a pretty good little minute here, just thinking about this move. And if I'm Gustavo, I'm thinking probably, okay. So he knows that this is coming, and he does not want to lose his bishop. So therefore, he opened the window for his bishop. So I think that's a pretty good move. Now, because of how much he wants his bishop, and his light squared bishop, I feel like, is actually just doing a lot more than mine. Mine is not really doing a whole lot, right? So one idea is actually just to go ahead and trade. But maybe before that, I'll go ahead and do this move. And, obviously if he goes all the way back, that's a possibility. If this, I'm still going to take here. And if this, then I do want to consider trading bishops. Again, just because I don't think these two bishops are equal right now. I think they're not the same. All right. If I do this, he's going to come here. And I'm okay with that. So I'm now thinking about the fact that he only has one defender on this square. So if I take, he takes, I could take back. Although, does that arguably damages my pawn structure more than his pawn structure? Because if I take, he takes, I take, I now just have this piece that's not really doing a lot, right? So maybe what I want to do is first bring in, I'm going to bring my bishop here, and then I'm going to think about this move. Okay, so now I'm going to lift. All right. And let's see, take with my bishop or take with my knight? If I take with my knight, I'm actually threatening this pawn. So maybe that's better. And I'm looking for free pieces. I don't want to give away any pieces. I want to make sure everything is defended. And so he is attacking here twice, but once he attacks here, I can attack back. So sometimes attacking a piece that's similar is kind of like defending a piece. Okay, so now I do want to consider the fact that this piece is being attacked twice. And what if I push? If I push here, takes, I can't really take back because the queen is there. So how can I, so maybe, maybe the idea actually is bring back this. I imagine he will take here, but I was going to say I could take there. All right. Maybe I just need to bring my pawn up and protect. And so I'll just do that. And now I can actually move my knight here. Okay. That's a interesting move, because I think if I just go here, what does that do? I think it's a free pawn, but that is still to be decided here. It looks like a free pawn. And maybe he knew that this was coming. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. All right. The good news is I'm doing pretty good on time, because Gustavo took a decent amount of time on his move, recently. And so, okay, now let's think about just, This is clearly a tactic waiting to happen where he can just simply fork me, and I do not want that to happen. So I am going to bring this guy down, and then if this, then this. And then I'm probably going to bring a rook, maybe this rook here, and try to win this pawn on the move after that. So maybe this, obviously if this, then I can just retreat back here, or, even to here. But I do think I can win this pawn here shortly. All right, so he did want his knight here for some reason. Like, he really wants his knight here, but it's not really attacking anything. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is protected. So once I think I'm going to bring this rook, who's not really doing anything, because I don't plan to move these pawns. And like at this point, I don't plan to move them at all. So I am thinking about this, and then I can just do that. But first, I am really strongly considering taking just to open up, and then I can win a pawn here as well. So I have a feeling he's going to go queen here, or maybe even queen here to protect that. And if he does move queen on this diagonal, then I'm not going to take, at least not yet. In that case, I am just going to bring this rook to my d file and attack this pawn. So that's the plan. If he pushes this pawn to try to kick me out, I'm going to just take this pawn for free. So I think right now I'm in a pretty good position. I mean, up one piece, or 1 point anyways, 1 pawn, and everything's protected. Okay, so he didn't do that, so I am going to just go ahead and take. And when he takes back, I'm just going to win a pawn with check. And then, yeah, so takes. He's probably going to bring his king here to try to kick me out. And I'm either going to lift my queen here, or I can just bring my... All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So king here or king here, potentially. All right, so if this, I have to keep in mind that there's not really a lot he can do, is there? I may just go ahead and bring him back, and then this, and then that's the blow right there. So that is my plan. We'll see. I mean, this is a little bit like, I don't know how he can really protect this, everything is protected other than this little guy who's done nothing all game. I mean, he's just not really bringing his other pieces into the game. I mean, I'm a little surprised that his rook's not in the game, and he's low on time as well. I mean, less than 2 minutes. So I'm feeling pretty good about this, but I don't want to let off the gas. I mean, I still think he's got some spicy tactics in here. Like he still can bring his queen here, which, is setting up for like a discovered attack. Yeah, see the queen, he's already thinking about getting the queen right here. I think that might be a little slow. This square, so if his queen comes here, obviously take. If his queen comes here, that's just going to be too slow. So that's not mate yet. He can move here, and then yeah, it's not quite there yet. It's not quite there. So once he moves here, what do I have? Because if takes, I don't think I want to take because then I'm losing. I'm removing the defender. However, I would love to bring my rook into the game, and I don't see it. So once he goes here, I can't go here still because his knight is here. So actually, if I take, he takes. I could bring my rook here, and then as soon as he moves his knight, assuming he moves his knight, I could take. So, but if I take and he just, comes here, then it would be take. Yeah, so, but because of the time difference, I'm not crazy worried about that. Actually, I could just take this as a free pawn. And free is good. Free is good. So now I could give him this, and that's mate, actually. So I do still have mate. And if this, that's still not going to do anything. That's just game. So let's see if I can mate him fast enough. No, this isn't mate because he could still go here. But time. We ran out of time. So I'm sure there was a checkmate tactic in there, but all good. We win. So defending pieces, I tell you, that is the secret sauce. And so let's go ahead and do a little review. So in this game, somebody recently commented and said they like to see like the percentage that it shows that we played at, or the game rating that we played at. And the game rating that we played at, let's see if I could just move this down just a little bit, was 1750. I don't know how accurate that is, or if that's just something to fuel my ego, but the real thing that I'm mostly proud of in this game is 0 misses, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders. That is a huge improvement for me. 85% accuracy. So let's review and let's just take a look and see how we played. Okay, so we got the it's like a London, but a little different from a London. And so that it says I had no inaccuracies. That was only a slight inaccuracy. I should have just taken. I didn't even think that was an option. When he took, I was like, my options are let him take me or drop back. And actually, that was the best option because that automatically just, he wouldn't have been able to castle. Wow. So, and then what about this? Is that a thing? That is, right? Although there's this. So, anyways, all right. So I dropped back. He took, opened up my rook, castled, kick him out. It wanted me to move here, which, is an interesting move. I don't think he would have done this, but if he did do this, I could have just come here. So, but what would have been nice about this is, I'm opening up my queen's diagonal if I want it. And so, but it was still a, acceptable move. And this was good. It still wants me to move this other knight, but, this was something I wanted to do because I knew that his bishop was just stronger than my bishop. And so, it would have been better to just go ahead and kick out his knight. His knight would have had to come here. And then there's just ideas of bringing everything in. But, so this kind of was arguably a miss or an inaccuracy because, look, he could have taken here, and he has his other knight protecting. So he's attacking this piece twice, and it's not a mistake because I think I won a pawn, so it would have just been like a trade. But it would have been this, and then now he's attacking my bishop as well. So I do kind of think that was a little bit of a miss. And then that was great because I then, brought in a defender. This could have potentially been a blunder if I didn't move, it wanted me to attack his queen. And yeah, at this point, I know I just want to open up. That was actually a mistake or an inaccuracy, because I could have come here first. Although I do wonder if he would have done this. Oh, no, he couldn't because my knight's still protecting. So if this and then, okay, then it wants me to come here. Yeah, and his queen couldn't do anything. I mean, every single square is protected. So that was just a kind of a solid attack at that point. Nothing he could do. And from this point on, that was an inaccuracy, a minus. Well, let's see. What would have been better? Just simply bringing up my rook is what it says. I bring up my rook. Okay, because then if he takes, I could take back. Gives me a check. And what would he have done then? I'm not sure. But either way, yeah, so then from here, I could have done, well, the game is over, but let's just say, he moved whatever here. And I go here. He goes here. Okay. I still don't really see mate so long as I've got this knight and this queen protecting up here. So I would have had to do something else. Let's just say this, probably this, this, and then maybe bring around my rook, something like that. But anyways, well, hey, that was fun. Anytime I can win, it's fun. So climbing again, and thank you for watching and joining. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.